morning, second graders. It's Tuesday, April 21st, 2020, and it is the start of our fourth week of remote learning. We're starting to get the swing of things here, and I'm really proud of you all. Many grown-ups have emailed me and told me that many of you are getting comfortable with your new routines or following a schedule of some sort, which is great. Anyway, your fun fact of the day is that a dime has 118 ridges around the edge. I'm going to continue with the Mercy Watson book that we were reading last week, Princess in Disguise. And before we do that, a quick recap. Mercy is in a princess costume for Halloween. She is trick-or-treating, and when they're leaving the Lincoln sisters' house, they all start chasing each other. Even the cat, right? So, alrighty, chapter 12. Here we go. General Washington raced to the end of Deckawoo Drive. He ran up the trunk of an old oak tree. Mercy stopped. Behind Mercy, Eugenia did not stop. Eugenia bumped into Mercy. Baby bumped into Eugenia. Mr. Watson bumped into Baby. Mrs. Watson bumped into Mr. Watson. Stella bumped into Mrs. Watson. And Frank bumped into Stella. Mercy looked up at General Washington. She sighed. She sat down. The chase was over. Mercy was very tired. She was very hot. Her tiara was pinching her ears. Her pink dress felt terribly snug. And even porcine princesses cannot climb trees. Chapter 13. Well, said Stella, I guess the parade is over. Nothing is over, Eugenia Lincoln shouted. She stared up into the branches of the tree. General Washington, said Eugenia, come down here immediately. The way she's holding her fist reminds me of Old Man Fuquire. Meow, said General Washington. General Washington, said Eugenia, I will not take no for an answer. Meow, said General Washington. Cats don't usually do what you ask them to do, said Stella. Nonsense, said Eugenia. General Washington always obeys orders. I think that cat is stuck, said Frank. Nonsense, said Eugenia. General Washington is far too intelligent to get stuck. Eugenia called General Washington again. And again. But General Washington would not move. I think, said Mr. Watson, it might be a good time to call the fire department. Chapter 14. At the fire station, the phone rang. Ned took the call. How's that? Said Ned. General Washington? Said Ned. Stuck up a tree? Said Ned. Right, said Ned. We're on our way. That was a strange call, Ned said to Lorenzo. Apparently, a general is stuck in a tree. Said Lorenzo. What is the address? Somewhere on Deckawoo Drive, said Ned. Deckawoo Drive? Said Lorenzo. That is where the pig lives. Oh boy, said Ned. We'd better hurry. Chapter 15. When Ned and Lorenzo got to Deckawoo Drive, they saw a large oak tree. Underneath the oak tree was a pig in a pink dress with a tiara on her head. It is just as I suspected, said Lorenzo. There is that pig. Yes, said Ned, but where is Washington, General Washington? Thank goodness you are here, said Baby Lincoln. What took you so long? Said Eugenia Lincoln. Is that General Washington? Said Ned, as he pointed to the gray cat in the high oak tree. Of course it is, said Eugenia Lincoln. Meow, said General Washington. Lorenzo got a ladder from the truck. He leaned the ladder against the tree. He climbed up the ladder. He reached out and grabbed a hold of General Washington. He climbed down the ladder. He put General Washington into Eugenia's arms. Hooray! Everyone cheered. You can always count on the fire department, said Mr. Watson. That is what I say. Oh, said Mrs. Watson, we should celebrate. We should have a party. Mercy pricked up her ears. Parties, in Mercy's experience, almost always involve toast. Chapter 16. Everyone was in the Watsons' kitchen. Everyone was gathered around the Watsons' table. Have you ever had the toast here? Lorenzo asked Stella. No, said Stella. You are in for a treat, said Ned. The toast here is excellent. Eating food at a stranger's house is potentially dangerous, said Frank. But we are not strangers, said Mrs. Watson. We are your neighbors. Meow, said General Washington. Bah, said Eugenia Lincoln. Who needs neighbors? Oh, sister, said Baby. Here, have a butter barrel. My darling, my dear, my porcine princess, said Mr. Watson. Aren't you glad you put on the pink dress? Mercy put her snout up in the air. She sniffed. Bread was toasting. Butter was melting. The pink dress was terribly snug. But it was worth it. Oink, said Mercy. Happy Halloween, my darling, said Mr. Watson. Happy Halloween, everyone. The end. All right, boys and girls, you are going to go off and get to work. Have fun with this week's work. We have a lot of fun things planned. Bye.